Dear Apple fans and lovers, brace yourselves. Something is happening. Something that could change everything. Things are burning at Apple. We all know the incredible journey of Apple, from the first Macintosh in 1984, which redefined personal computing, to the iconic iPod in 2001, revolutionizing how we consume music, to the game-changing iPhone in 2007, the start of modern smartphones, and the iPad in 2010, which brought tablets into our everyday lives. Apple, under Steve Jobs, gave us innovation, satisfaction, and a sense of belonging. Today, Apple is more than just a brand. It's a $3 trillion symbol of success and innovation. It's a model of excellence, adored by fans and envied by competitors. But what if this empire was crumbling? What if all of Apple's achievements were at risk? Everything seemed perfect, until now. Apple is facing a storm like never before. Why? The answer lies in the supply chain, the minerals used to create the devices we love. For years, Apple relied on these minerals to bring us cutting-edge products. But here's the shocking truth: those minerals come from the Democratic Republic of Congo, a country torn apart by endless conflict. The DRC is a land rich in minerals but ravaged by war. Millions of lives have been lost in the fight over these resources, and now reports reveal that Apple has been sourcing these minerals indirectly from unethical suppliers in this war-torn region. The very materials that power your iPhone or MacBook may have fueled violence and suffering in eastern Congo, and this controversy threatens to tarnish Apple's reputation forever. Imagine a world where Apple is no longer the giant we've admired for decades. Imagine this empire falling apart because of an ethical failure. Is Apple destined to disappear, or can the company recover?
The Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC, is a nation with vast mineral riches. However, this blessing has become a curse. For decades, the DRC has been ravaged by armed conflicts. These conflicts are fueled by the very minerals found beneath Congolese soil. These are essential components of our phones, laptops, and electric cars. These conflict minerals, tin, tantalum, tungsten, and gold, have become synonymous with violence, exploitation, and human suffering. Children are forced to work in dangerous mines. Villages are terrorized. The profits from these minerals fund armed groups. These groups perpetuate the cycle of violence, instability, and poverty in the DRC. The Dodd-Frank Act, passed in the United States in 2010, aimed to address this problem. It requires companies to audit their supply chains and ensure they are not sourcing minerals from conflict zones. Apple, the most valuable company in the world, is known for its sleek design and innovative technology. But, as said before, the tech giant has been involved in a controversy that threatens to tarnish its image. On December 17, 2024, the DRC sued Apple, accusing the company of profiting from conflict minerals mined in its war-torn regions. The lawsuit alleges that Apple knowingly benefited from the illegal exploitation of Congolese resources. It claims that the company's supply chain is tainted with these conflict minerals. These minerals end up in Apple's iconic products. This lawsuit isn't just about Apple. It highlights the broader issue of corporate responsibility in global supply chains. Consumers are demanding transparency and want to know that the devices they use are not contributing to violence and human rights abuses. The stakes are high for Apple. The company has built its brand on a reputation for innovation, quality, and social responsibility. The allegations of complicity in the conflict mineral trade in the DRC threaten to undermine that image. A guilty verdict, or even a prolonged legal battle, could result in considerable reputational damage. Some consumers, especially those who prioritize ethical consumption, might turn away from Apple products. Boycotts, negative media coverage, and social media campaigns could cause real financial harm. This lawsuit has the potential to set a precedent, encouraging other nations and communities affected by conflict minerals to take legal action. While the allegations against Apple paint a grim picture, there are glimmers of hope. Some companies are demonstrating that it is possible to source minerals responsibly, even in conflict-affected areas. Fairphone, a Dutch social enterprise, has made ethical sourcing the cornerstone of its brand. They prioritize conflict-free minerals and work directly with mining communities to ensure fair labor practices and environmental sustainability. Intel has also made significant strides in establishing a transparent and conflict-free supply chain for its microprocessors. These companies show that ethical sourcing is not only morally right, but also good for business. By choosing ethical alternatives, consumers can send a strong message to the tech industry. The lawsuit against Apple highlights the urgent need for greater transparency and accountability in global supply chains. Companies must take responsibility for the social and environmental impact of their operations, from the mines to the manufacturing plants. This requires going beyond superficial audits and engaging in meaningful due diligence. Companies need to map their supply chains, identify risks, and work proactively to mitigate them. This includes partnering with suppliers who share their commitment to ethical sourcing and human rights. Governments also have a crucial role to play in ensuring that companies are held accountable for their actions. The issue of conflict minerals is complex, but the solution is clear. We need a collective effort to create a more ethical and sustainable tech industry. Consumers, corporations and governments all have a role to play. Consumers can make a difference by demanding transparency from tech companies. Support brands that prioritize ethical sourcing and be willing to pay a little more for truly conflict-free products. Companies must go beyond talk and take concrete steps to ensure their supply chains are free of exploitation. This requires a genuine commitment to transparency, accountability, and responsible sourcing practices. Governments need to create a level playing field by implementing and enforcing legislation that holds companies accountable for human rights abuses within their supply chains. By working together, we can create a future where the benefits of technological innovation are shared by all, and where the minerals that power our devices are a source of prosperity, not conflict.
This is a wake-up call for Apple. To survive, it must ensure ethical sourcing, take responsibility for its supply chain, and rebuild trust with its fans. The question is, will Apple rise from this crisis, or will it crumble under the weight of its choices? As Apple fans, we've always believed in the brand. Now it's time to hold Apple accountable. Let's demand transparency and ethical practices. Together we can make a difference and ensure that Apple not only survives, but thrives once again. Share this video, spread the truth. The future of Apple depends on us.